Okay, so this evening I'm going to talk about how to make money, which is what we all want. It buys us players, it buys us contracts, it buys us consumables, it buys us staff. Essentially everything in FIFA 15 is going to be defined by how much money you've got. So say for example, if you're playing a match, you're using contracts for 11 players, you need to replace them contracts. To do that, obviously you need to you need money to buy the contracts or to get them in a pack. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to enter Ultimate Team now. As you can see, or as you will be able to see in a few moments, I have more money than I had this morning. Haven't sold any of my big three players there, but I've opened a few more packs. I've sold a few more players. Looks like I've got a few more that are sold. Let's see who we've got here. 750, not bad. 350 for Johnson. 650 for Carrillo, Braguzan. And that's a pretty good price, that one. Not bad for a keeper, 4.2. Alright, got a few more there. Let's just get these back on the market. Right, okay, so I've already covered one way of making money, and that is waiting for server outages. So whenever a server outage occurs, get on there. So let's have a look at the transfer market now. Obviously, if we just do a standard search like this, it lists all of them in time order, and you'll find that there's very few seconds to go for each one. You could be having a look through here, move a page on, and in time wise you're not going to move that very far. It might be a second or two, depending on how long it takes you to actually have a look at these. And essentially what you can do with these is you can have a look for each of the individual cars that's going out of that's running out of time. So what you're going to be doing here in the case of server outages is you're going to be having a look at the ones that are closest to going out of date. That one's a good one, or that's a good one to be 250 on as the guy currently has, because he'll gain back a minimum of 300 for that, purely by quick selling it. So that's what you're actually looking for. You're looking for, I look for gold. Standard golds like that, they will sell for a minimum of 300. Rare golds will sell for a minimum of 600. So if you can underbid any of them, you're absolutely laughing. So let's just scroll through. Because the servers are absolutely fine at the moment, there's going to be very few that have actually not got any bids on. As you can see, so this is the first way of making money, and essentially what you do is you buy up various cards based on there being very little competition on at the time. So you can buy a lot of cards. I'm talking a good 10 to 15 every couple of minutes, and you can rack it in. The only problem is because you've got the server outages, it's going to be more difficult for you to connect. But if you carry on connecting, you keep on trying to connect, you will eventually connect, and you will be able to pick up these cards. As I showed you in my previous video, this is how I picked up my Ribery card. Let's have a look how that Ribery card's doing now. I think I bought it for 241, was it? Let's have a look. Ribery. Yep, 241 I bought him for. So let's see just how much these are going for now. And that was this morning this was last night that I did this. Transfers, it's 241, and let's have a search for him. There he is. There you go, there's one there with a bid of 285. So it'll probably go for more than that. 284 there. Either way you look at it, I've made good money off that, and that's purely just by logging on there when there was very little activity because of the server outages. And essentially what I've done there is I've bought a top player for very little money, which is great. So that's one way of making money. Now you can do that with both players, and you can also do it with consumables as well. So again, exactly the same way. The only problem is you need to know how much you're gaining back from the consumables. Right now, because everyone's now started playing, contracts are quite important to have. Because they're quite important to have, very few people are selling them. Because very few people are selling them and a lot of people are buying them, they're going to cost more money. Then obviously your club items, I don't really bother with them that much unless you get a big a ground, like for example Old Trafford goes for more than 1,000, the Bernabeu goes for more than 1,000, as does the Nou Camp, that also goes for more than 1,000. Staff, this is a very important one. What you need to do with your staff, when it's a difficult one to understand this, when you've got your squad, so this is my squad as I'm building it at the moment. Now if we have a look at Neuer, and if we have a look at his contracts, you see that he's got 7 contracts there. So if we apply consumables and go for contracts, these are contracts based on the value of the card. Now you've got to bear in mind that I've actually got assistant managers here, which will bump up the value of these cards by 50%. So as you can see with that one, 28 contracts for a goal player, so I would get an additional 28, but because of the assistant managers I get an extra 50% on top of that, so that's another 14. So it's 28, 32, 42 contracts I would get by applying that to Neuer. Let's just see if that's the case now. So 42 add 7 is 49. This should arrive at 49. And it does. So that's very important. That's one thing that you really need to get into your head very quickly. Buy as many assistant manager cards as you can, up to 50%. So if you have a look at my club here, my club, and if we go to staff search, roles manager, and search now. So what each of these cards will give you is a contract bonus. So if we have a look at them rare gold ones there, Garcia, if we scroll twice, scroll once that way, you'll see negotiations up 3%. All of these stack. So in having them 4 ones there, I've got 12% bonus. All of these ones pay a 1% negotiation raise. So essentially what you need to do is you need to get this in total to add up to 50, a minimum of 50. It won't go any higher than 50, and I've now got more than 50. Things like this one are absolutely pointless, but like the rare bronze ones will give you will still give you bonus. The standard silver ones won't. So because they won't, I'm just going to quick sell them now because they won't even sell. Right, so that's what you need to do. Add them all up, make sure it's over 50%, and that way you get the most amount of bonus that you can get out of it. So again, buy these at a time when it's good to buy. So when the servers are down, if you can get on there and buy a few of these, absolutely do so. They also go for quite a bit of money, especially if you get the big ones. Like for example, let's have a look at let's say Mourinho. See if we've got one of them. Managers, right. Jurgen Klinsmann, 5,800. People Inzaghi, 850. Robert Martinez. So they go for quite a lot of money. Wenger, 2.5 almost. Van Gaal, 2.3. Bear in mind these are still going up. Let's see if they can find a Mourinho. There's none on there. Sebastian Loeb, that's a good one. Almost £6 that, it's, if you want to buy it now. There's another one, no bids on it yet. Roy Hodgson. Vicente Del Bosque, Ghost Hiddink. Right, I'm just going to get out of that and I'm going to do this. Right, post. There's a Mourinho, £2,500 with half a minute to go. That'll probably go up over 3,000, I reckon. But yeah, this is what you need to do. If you're going to be playing it long term, you're going to need your contract. You're going to need to increase your contract as much as you possibly can, and this is the way to do so. So let's talk about another way of making good money fast. Okay, let's have a search for a specific type of player. Because I'm on Ribery, let's go for Ribery again. Right, this is a bit of a bad one if you've got a very how can I put it? A player that's there all the time. So if you've got let's just get on with it, yeah. Right, what you need to do is you need to scroll until we get to an hour remaining. So essentially, if we have a look at this now, this has been the last one that's been placed on here this hour. We will occasionally get some really good prices up here. People are looking at putting it on there just for an hour to get as much money back as they possibly can. This is where to find it. Now, if you've got a player on here who's got hundreds and hundreds of cards, it's going to take you absolutely ages to get through to this, to the bit where it's got time remaining for an hour. So you need to really be looking at narrowing it down to a specific person and trying to buy them as cheaply as you possibly can. So this is the way that you would do that. You would make sure that we go to the hour mark. There we go, there's another one. That's 501,000. Nah, we're not going to go for that. But that's what a lot of the top players will do. They will bid very much as soon as they've actually placed the player on the market. So if we give that another try with somebody else, let's go for Robin this time. Alright, scroll forward to the hour mark. Now obviously it doesn't work every time, and it might take you a good couple of hours to find something, but when you found something, it's absolutely brilliant because you know that you pick it up for 20, 30, maybe even 40 grand cheaper than you're looking to pay at the last minute. So that's another way to make money, another way to make good money. So that's really all I've got to say about that one. Right, what we're going to do now is I'm just going to open a few packs just because I can and because I want to. What